Good morning everyone. Welcome to Banao Bharat's Thursday expiry live session. Well, lot of news and events flowing in. Just yesterday we saw the budget getting over. Last week we saw the big event on Adani, some negative reports and big sell-off in Adani group of stocks, and also some of the other banking sector and overall market in general. Then there was a pause for a day. The FPO got subscribed fully, and yesterday was a budget session, highly volatile session. On the whole, budget was not having anything negative in the budget, but volatility was brimming. In fact, in spite of there not being any major negative, and in spite of having few positives in the budget, we could see a very wild swing in the markets yesterday, underlying the very fact that events are temporary. Markets underlying sentiment and underlying positions makes more difference. So my view on the yesterday's market is, markets were quiet. Markets downward journey which has started on the break of 17,800 was not yet over. It had come to 17,500 and made a few days of pullback because of some sentiments about the budget and FPO going through. But underlying currents of the markets have been on the negative, and the moment the budget news got over, the market started falling yesterday, going in line with the existing positions in the market by the traders. Today, the first expiry of February. Let us see how it goes. In the meanwhile, yesterday after the markets close in the night, Adani Group has called off the FPO and they are returning back the funds to the investors. Well, Adani's retail participation has always been less, and you could see also in the holding yesterday, even in the FPO, the retail participation was very minimum. So the damage because of what happens at Adani Group to the market is not very significant, because the big holders, the big stakeholders, the promoters or the FIIs and DIs, they generally buy with a very long term view, and they wouldn't be in a hurry to go ahead and do any sell offs. So I don't think there would be any big sell offs from domestic institutional investors as such, or from LIC or from SBI. So, and anyway, retail participation is very less. Retail participants might get panic and they might be in a hurry to offload their holdings and move into something else which is performing. But in general, the big investors, the long term investors, the really growth oriented investors, these people will wait out for some more time and see if Adani can deliver on whatever the manifesto of Adani Group is. So the sell off that we are seeing in Adani might taper off, and it might stay low for some more time, we don't know. But for a technical trader, we just watch the levels, we just make our views and opinions and probability of the trades based on the price movements. Today being expiry, we'll start off with Nifty, and as we go along we'll also look into the Adani Group stocks and see what are the trading levels in Adani. For as usual, our time frames are very short. We retail traders, we see the chart only for the day, only for intraday. We do not have any long term view on any stocks for that matter. Our expertise and our intent is to focus only on the price action and volumes data and make an inference just out of these two parameters and see if we can make any profitable trades out of that. So even in our trading for living program, we teach on how to avoid the news, how to start viewing the price action, and how you can become a better trader or a reasonably safe trader in spite of you not knowing many things in the market horizon. It's not necessary we need to be an expert in economics. It's not necessary we need to be an expert of an industry. We don't have to know too many macro data interpretations. All of these things come with many years of expertise, but here trading you can still do based on few months of chart observation, few months of data interpretations based on the charts, and still you can make a reasonable returns with your limited knowledge, and as you go along you can keep on gaining expertise in the market. So the focus is on not to give too much of importance to the fundamentals of the company or the economy, but to focus on price and save our investment or the capital. So we give you techniques and methodologies on how you can safeguard your capital and be in the game for longer duration. We believe being in the game is more important. If you survive today, you can always have the probability of winning tomorrow. If you sit on a 50% drawdown, being a long term investor, and for example, for whatever reason, if you had bought Adani and if it is now today sitting at 50% drawdown, then it really pinches on your capital, on your wealth, because the big players, they would have diversified. For them this is like one of the stock which has gone bad, but they will have many other winners in their basket. If you are a normal investor, for sure your investments would be concentrated, and in the concentrated portfolio, if you end up losing one or two big investments, then that will put a dent on your portfolio for many years to come. So for people with small capital, it is always safer option is to be in, if at all they have to be a market participant, then my take is to be as a trader than as a investor. As an investor, you really don't know what is happening on a day-to-day basis in big companies. It could be Reliance, it could be SBI, it could be any other company for that matter. We really don't know what happens on a daily basis there. It becomes difficult to infer with our limited knowledge, to read the reports, to read and make an inference out of it and take a decision based on such information. In fact, my view is even the big players, they also play with only limited knowledge. It's not like they know everything, but definitely they know better than us. The players, it could be mutual fund managers, or it could be FII investors, the hedge fund managers, or people at the top in big institutions like SBI or LIC. they really have many more years of experience, and they have a wide variety of teams under them who each team focuses on a particular sector or a particular aspect of the markets, and they will be able to actually make a decision which is slightly better than the retail investors. I wouldn't say they really know everything, because ultimately even in those teams or even those people, they also have to rely on the information that is available to everybody. Today information, there is no dearth of information. Actually everybody has the same set of information. It is not like we are deprived of some information. We the retail traders also get the same amount of information, the same set of information which even the big institutions are watching on a daily basis. Yes, of course, apart from the information, they may have some access to some of the top notch people or the stakeholders in the companies directly, but for that I would say more or less whatever the institutions they watch the data, we as a retail traders also have the same set of data. Only thing is we do not have experience to make an inference out of it. So for us it is easier and better to stick to the price action, not venture too much into making a judgment on what will happen with the budget, or what will happen with the elections coming in, what will happen based on the Fed's rate changes, or what will happen in the global inflation environment. So these are all things good to just have a discussion, but when it comes to decision making, then based on these parameters we should admit to ourselves we are not capable of making a decision based on these parameters. These are too intricate subjects which will take a lifetime to specialize in. So for people like us, I always believe in price action trading. Technical trading is somewhat, it will give you some kind of a cushion. At least you have a defined stop losses, at least you have a defined probability methodology where you can say whether to take this trade or not. So having said that, if you are interested in learning the mechanics of trading, come and join our Trading for Living program. We really make a very honest attempt in making people realize the market dynamics. Let's move on. Nifty, well, wild swing, outranger pattern. Yesterday opens flat and sideways and takes off in one shot for a couple of candles, goes higher and makes high of 18,063 all the way back to 17,472, and today the expiry day, the post budget day, markets are trading flat at 17,665. So has made a high of 17,736, has started from 17,522, has made a higher low, sorry. Yesterday's low was 17,472 and today's low has been 17,522, which means it has taken the support at yesterday's low. It has not broken yesterday's low till now. It is now currently moving in the sideways. Will it, after this sideways movement, will it break upward or downward is what we need to wait and watch out for. Currently markets are in sideways, and second point to notice, markets are holding on to yesterday's lows as of now. This is the chart of Bank Nifty. Well, Bank Nifty also during the budget speech, markets were trading flat, then makes upward move, goes up to 42,251 and comes all the way back to 39,718. Today opens at or above 40,000 levels and goes to 49,29. My god, 900 points higher in the second candle itself, currently trading at 4,600. So on the whole, Nifty as well as Bank Nifty, after the wild movement yesterday, wild swing yesterday, today it is moving sideways and holding on to the yesterday's lows. Let us quickly look into Adani Group stocks and move ahead. ACC opens at 1774, goes to 1986, currently trading at 1858. Again, this also is holding on and is in the current sideways movement. Adani Enterprises making new lows here after yesterday's close at 2080. Today now currently trading at 1930, has already made a low of 1822. So Adani, the sell off in Adani has still not stopped. This is Adani Ports. Yesterday made a low of 433, today also made one more new low at 428, currently trading at 473. After having made a low, it is made a slight pullback. Will it sustain? We need to wait and watch. But for now, most of the Adani stocks are in the sideways movement or slightly on the lower side. This is Ambuja Cement, one more low at 301, yesterday's low 322. After having opened in the first candle in the red, it has tried to make a pullback to 367, from 301 to 367, currently trading at 356. And if you start seeing above 367 on an intraday time frame, maybe there might be slightly pullback from those level onwards. So this is with respect to Nifty, currently trading at 17,656 on the weekly chart. Let us see what's happening on the weekly chart. This is the weekly settlement. No much trades in this entire week. Yes, it has given good movement from the down, has gone higher, has come down. Everything has happened in this week, but for a trader there has not been some right levels in this week to trade. In a way it is good, because when such big news are coming and if your system is showing no trade, which means it is protecting you from at least it is saving your capital. It is I am happy it has not given me any signals so that I wouldn't have got caught either on the right side or on the wrong side. Ultimately, on the whole, if you see, markets have done nothing in this week. It went up, it came down again back to last Friday's close. In fact, if you see, last Friday it closed at 17,890 and today it is at around 17,651. So during this time it came down, went higher and also again came down, made new low, again trading closing very flat, 17,655. So just check your system. If it gives you wild trades, how is your system protecting you from entering into the wrong trades? If your system is protecting you from wrong trades, then definitely that is a very robust system. You should stick to that kind of a system which saves you from big volatility. If it gives you a good call, then and from there on with the volatility, if it goes really good, then it is always nice. But in my system in this week I have no calls in both Nifty as well as in Bank Nifty, and yes, sometimes it frustrates you, you are not getting the call entire week, all 5 days you have no positional calls generated in your system, which might look quite questionable. But given the kind of events that are surrounding you, I'm in fact I would say I'm happy, my system did not generate any calls, and if it had generated any calls, then I would have been little in dilemma whether to enter the trade. System is showing me a trade, whether should I to enter or not in the middle of all of these big news breaking out. Anyway, I'm happy the system is protecting me from wild events and keeping me alive for the upcoming trades. Well, having said that, if you are liking the content on Banao Bharat channel, do subscribe to the channel, share the channel to as many as traders as possible, and come back for another day's live session tomorrow. Until then, have a very profitable settlement week. Om Swasti.